Thank you very much for staying here with us on the Joy News channel. It's the Thursday edition of Sports Today here on Joy News and also on 421 on DSTV and 144 on GoTV. As usual, we've got big headlines to share with you, and I'll go straight to them as the Black Satellites of Ghana set their sights on an Under-20 semi-final ticket at the ongoing Under-20 Championship. Away from that, FIFA is set to rule on Ben Acheampong-Zamalek's impasse later today. We'll do a dose of athletics as well, and a 400-meter star Caster Semenya is heading to court to fight the World Athletics body. All right, thank you very much for staying with us. Let's go to our first story now. And the Black Satellites of Ghana will be looking forward to facing Cameroon in the quarterfinal of the ongoing Under-20 Cup of Nations later today. Now, the head coach of the side, Abdul Karim Zito, says the defeat to Gambia in the last group game shows they are not invincible, but the ultimate is to qualify for the semi-final of the competition. There's more in the following report.
The Satellites will face Cameroon later today in the ongoing Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations in Mauritania. The junior national team lost 2-1 to Gambia in the last group game. However, they still qualify to the knockout stage of the competition. Coach Abdul Karim Zito says his boys are ready to come up against the young indomitable Lions as they seek to book a place in the semi-final.
Cameroon is going to meet Ghana. From the senior side down to the youth, it's not an easy match for both countries. Because both countries are all known for good football. Explosively, it is going to be very interesting. But we all want to qualify, and we are all African champions. It is going to be explosive football, and sometimes it is good for you to lose a game, and that lose will awaken yourself that, hey, there's somebody who can beat you.
Zito also added that most of the current crop of players in his setup will be playing their last championship for the former U-20 world champions. He says they will be committed to giving their all later this evening.
We assess the country's need and then fill the country. Gambia is nobody. No. Now the trend have changed. Everybody is investing into football. Yes, Ghana is a football country, we are agreed, but that doesn't mean we can beat anybody. Winning all the time sometimes will also affect your mentality. So now the boys are ready. They've now seen that at least there's a country that can beat them, and then their objective is to qualify. And some of them, this is the last competition for them on the Under-20. So we are ready for whoever we are going to meet, most especially Cameroon.
Ghana is seeking to qualify to the Under-20 World Cup for the first time since 2015.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us. Let's go to our next story in the Ghana Premier League. Now, Samuel Boadu has left his post as head coach of Medeama Sporting Club. Now, the club has confirmed this. Now, Boadu's resignation was confirmed after the Ghana Premier League Week 16 victory over Techiman 11 Wonders in Takwa. There's more in the following. And, of course, just before we do that, let's go on the phone line to speak to the communications manager of the side, Patrick Akoto. Now, he'll be telling us some more. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, Patrick. If you can hear me, what necessitated this decision? I mean, we're just about wrapping up the first half of the season.
Well, good afternoon to you. But that will be very difficult to answer. I mean, I think the coach will be in a better position to understand, to explain what necessitated him to resign. So I think this question is put.
All right. Let's also talk about the relationship between the club and the coach and, the journey up to this point. How would you describe it?
Oh, it's been a fantastic, relationship. We've had a very fantastic relationship with Coach Boadu. Indeed, we are a club that gave him his first shot at a Premier League club at a time that many clubs had doubts about coaches who were in the second tier. We took the bold decision and gave him an opportunity to coach a big giant like Medeama. We think that he distinguished himself, yes. Unfortunately, we have not completed the full season with him. You do recall that we got the league truncated during the number 12 debacle. We had a number 13 debacle via COVID-19, and so we have not really completed the season with him. In all those, he had excelled with aplomb, taking the club to the apex of the league title or of the league log, but unfortunately we weren't able to finish. So it's a part of difficulty, but we are very calm. We have accepted the resignation. We have wished him well. As we speak, I have to get out of a management meeting. We'll be announcing a new direction and a new coach very soon.
Talking about that, you sound pretty much sorted out. How easy has that decision been? Because you say that you're going to make an announcement soon.
This job is a very demanding job. Many coaches have slapped in the application. You will be amazed at the number of applications that we've received right from last night when the coach tendered his resignation. I struggle sometimes to understand how they even got to know that he was going to resign. And so a lot of high-profile coaches in this country and abroad have all expressed interest. But of course, we are always a very professional club. We are clear in our mind the direction we want to take this club. It's the reason why quickly we accepted this resignation without making any effort at all.
Patrick,
we should be sorted out in the next couple of hours or few days, maybe by tomorrow.
Okay, so if I get you clearly, you're going to make an announcement of the substantive replacement for the coach tomorrow. Is that it?
Barring any unforeseen contingencies, we should be announcing the coach in the shortest possible time. It can be today, it can be tomorrow.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And
I am grateful.
Sure. Thank you very much.
And to place on record that there were a lot of reports, manufactured reports actually, about claims that some supporters for our club went to lock up support the players and coaches. I mean, we have denied that outright. That's a complete lie and fabrication. It must be treated with the contempt it deserves.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so that was Patrick Akoto, and he is the spokesperson for the club, Medeama SC, who, interestingly, after winning a game, had their head coach, Samuel Boadu, vacate his post and say goodbye to the club. And he has also confirmed that, a new coach, a substantive coach, will be named in the coming days. It could be tomorrow as well. You're still here on Sports Today, and we're going to be bringing you some more stories. Now, let's just quickly take a look at the possible replacements for Samuel Boadu at Medeama SC.
Samuel Boadu, who has been with the Mauves and Yellows in the last 3 years, parted company despite winning his last game against the Chiman 11 Wonders in the Ghana Premier League. Under his tutelage, Medeama has toppled the Ghana Premier League on 2 consecutive seasons. However, those seasons were not completed due to number 12 documentary premiered in June 2018 and the cancellation of last season due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Medeama had a difficult start to the 2020-21 Ghana Premier League season, but seemed to have found their feet in their last 5 matches. Last year, reports have suggested that the Phobians who parted company with Costa Papic last week Monday could be the destination of Mr. Boadu. There are others who also suggest that he could be heading to Ash Gold, who currently do not also have a head coach. Joy Sports understands Hearts of Oak, who have had conversations with 2 different coaches, Ibrahim Tanko and Yao Acheampong, who both turned down the opportunity of leading the former CAF Champions League winners, have tabled an offer that appears to convince Mr. Boadu to head their technical dugout. The terms of the contract is unclear to Joy Sports, but sources say it is good enough to attract any coach in the local scene.
All right, so we're looking forward to that big announcement, and we'll surely bring it to you here. Added to that will be some analysis on how whoever it is will be performing within that space. Let's talk about FIFA, who will rule on an impasse between Ghanaian player Ben Acheampong and his former club Zamalek of Egypt later. And this is something that the former Asante Kotoko described as being treated as an animal during his days with the former Egyptian champions. Now, the former WA All-Stars player says that he's been duped of over $1 million by a football club once, and he's determined that that doesn't happen again. Now, George Addo Jr. spoke to BBC journalist Piers Edwards, who reported this story on the BBC website.
The World Football Governing Body disciplinary arm will pronounce its ruling later today. Ben Acheampong claims to have been duped out of $1 million before and will not let this current move by his former club go unpunished. Piers Edwards, a sports journalist with BBC, who worked on the story, details the sequence of events in an interview with Joy Sports.
He joined Zamalek in 2017. He had his issues with the club as early as 2018, and in August 2018 he terminated his contract, which he maintains he was forced to do because the club did not pay him money, the club barred him from training, and the club did not register him for the forthcoming season. Some of the reasons. The club disputes some of those, but in December the Court of Arbitration for Sport found in Acheampong's favour and ordered the Zamalek to pay him $1.1 million. And then we have the twist whereby Acheampong's former agent, Nader El Sayed, a captain of Egypt at one point, no less, the man who won the 1998 Africa Cup of Nations, said that, or entered into an agreement with Zamalek whereby Acheampong supposedly agreed to receive just $250,000. Zamalek wrote to FIFA sending them various documents which purported to show that El Sayed was still representing Acheampong, which Acheampong disputes.
Yusuf Chipsa, Players Welfare Manager of PFAG, a footballers union representing Acheampong, has called on players to report early any form of maltreatment meted out of them by their employers.
Unfortunately, we don't have the will or any opportunity to be controlling the way clubs behave or treat players. We just continue to preach the words, but the most important thing which we always do is to advise the players to make sure that whenever they sign contracts, they make sure they have the needed help from either from a union or a legal person or anybody who is competent enough to interpret the kind of contract that they sign with the various clubs. And then whenever a club is maltreating you or not treating you right, you have the players' union. PFAG, Ghanaian, and other affiliate unions of FIFPro are all available. We always advise and urge the players that they should seek help from the players' union whenever there is a maltreatment or disrespect in one way or the other from clubs to the players.
Zamalek previously failed to adhere to a CAS ruling in 2018 before claiming that a quarter of the money due to the former Asante Kotoko striker has been paid to his agent.
And Isaac Mensah of Accra Hearts of Oak has been speaking ahead of the Super Clash Part 1 for this season on Sunday against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Remember, that's the biggest game of the Ghana Premier League, and Isaac Mensah recorded a good performance to win the Man of the Match award in yesterday's encounter. Let's take a listen to him.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, sitting on the bench, watching the game, what was going through your mind?
I was studying the game very well, but if you see the game, it wasn't easy. So I will thank God for what he has done for me. It wasn't on my mind, so I will come and score.
Yeah.
It's by God's favor. Yeah. So I'll thank my supporters and my teammates and my coaches.
Yeah, I see. For you as a player, obviously getting to the top is one of the key things you want to do. You have won the most valuable player today ahead of a tough game coming up for Accra Hearts of Oak, your arch rivals, Kumasi Asante Kotoko. How will this encourage, first of all, you and then the team to come up in that game against Kotoko on Sunday?
We are very prepared to this coming Sunday's game. So they should keep on praying for us because it wasn't easy. So we hopefully, maybe Sunday, they will look at for our 3 points. Surely we will do our best and take the 3 points on Sunday.
All right, so let's now talk about some athletics now. Olympic 800-meter champion Caster Semenya is putting in an appeal to the European Court for Human Rights against the restriction of testosterone levels in female runners. Now, Semenya is not allowed to compete in events between 400 meters and a mile without taking testosterone-reducing drugs following a 2019 rule change by the World Athletics governing body. Now, the 30-year-old South African lost an appeal to Switzerland's Federal Supreme Court in September, but is still harboring hopes of defending her Olympic title in Tokyo. Now, all we ask is to be allowed to run free for once and for all. As strong and as fearless women we are and always have been, she said. And this is a quote assigned to her. Now, Switzerland failed in its obligations to protect against the violation of her rights. The athletics governing body brought in a rule that athletes with differences in sexual development, which is DSD, be given, must either take medication in order to compete in track and field events or change to another distance. Athletes with DSD have higher levels of natural testosterone, which according to the World Athletics body gives them competitive advantages.
Response that the rules was introduced precisely because the IAAF is committed to protecting the rights and opportunities.
All right, so let's see how all of it goes with Caster Semenya, and it is expected that a ruling will be given on this one. All right, now let's quickly focus on the upcoming elections for the leadership of the Confederation of African Football. Now, names have popped up, and one of them is South African Patrice Motsepe. Now, he has been outlining his vision in some 10 key thematic areas. First of them is investing in developing and growing football in each African country and building partnerships and sponsorship with the private sector and other potential partners. Also, improving the efficiency and professionalism of CAF's competitions and its staff, and implementing and adhering to governance and auditing global best practices. Also, investing in African football infrastructure. Now, the fifth point is investing in youth and the future of African football. Now, Patrice Motsepe is also looking at developing and growing women's football, which has also become a very key component of development projects for many, national associations across the African continent, including Ghana. Now, 7, protecting the integrity and professionalism in refereeing, and also video assistant referees, the VAR. And 9, statutory reforms, and 10, partnerships with FIFA and other continental governing bodies. The 8th point, a very interesting one, definitely, and we'll be seeing how that will go, especially with its implementation here on the African continent. So you're still here on Sports Today. There's a bit more to share with you as we go towards wrapping up the show for today. Stay with us.